Yeah. Shoot. Hey, yeah. Internet went out this morning. It's okay, cause I got it right. Sometimes you gotta pick up and just fight. Sometimes you gotta do this with no spite. It's alright. What's up? Welcome. Top of the morning. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to go. What's up, y'all? Top of the morning. I'm happy to be here. What else would I be doing? All right. Yeah, you're probably not catching the show live. Guaranteed you're not catching live. Actually, had a huge technical difficulty. The internet went out this morning, so it took me like 30 minutes to get it right. But however, I still wanted to make sure I produce a show. So you're probably not hearing this live. You're probably gonna be hearing this on the playback. All is well, nevertheless. Today's topic we talking about things ain't always how it go, or things that are always how it seems. Sometimes always a more difficult path. Sometimes you just got to deal with it, right? That's part of this thing that we call living in life. It's part of this whole process. It's part of the whole how you think it's going to go, it won't end up going. That's the fun part. Maybe that's the drama in life that we actually enjoy, because we all love good drama. Let's be honest. I realize that we all actually appreciate drama. If you think about movies, what's a movie without any drama in it? What's a movie without any type of, without any type of aspect to overcome? What's a movie without drama? What's life without drama? Honestly, really think about it. What's life without something to overcome, without something to accomplish, without some type of challenge, right? So every day. So it's funny. I'm on the phone with the internet. I'm calling them, and every single time, every time something happens, I just start kind of laughing, because you got two emotions you can choose, and I've said this before. You can be upset about it, allow yourself to get frustrated, but I tell myself I have way too much to do today to be frustrated, which actually gives me, opposite of what most people will feel like. Most people feel like I got so much to do today. This is frustrating me. I have too much to do today. I don't have time for this. But I just took it as, what? I got so much to do today. I'm not even going to allow this to actually get in my way, to actually control my emotions. I'm just going to deal with it and make it happen. So anyways, top of the morning, I'm excited. Thank y'all for all joining me. Like I said, you all going to be catching this on demand, not live, but wherever y'all catch it on the program, and that's good as well. So things don't always go as they seem. So a lot of times we think that we're going to get a straight shot to whatever we're trying to accomplish. And most of the time we realize that the straight shot never happens. It's actually never a straight shot. It's hardly ever a straight shot to the destination. For some reason, there's always a detour. There's always a detour, to the point where I think that we should start priming our mind to start expecting things to not go as they plan and choose on how we feel about them early. I said this in the show prior. Choosing how you feel before the thing happens. So when you say, hey, if things don't go right today, I'm not even going to trip on it. If the sound don't add up today, I'm not even going to stress. I'm not even going to trip. I'm just going to just keep moving. Because that's part of the process. It's part of getting it right next time. That's how things go for some reason. Like I said, good movies are filled with drama. Good movies are filled with twists. Good stories always have a huge air of challenge. So don't run from the challenge that's about to be ahead. Don't run from it. Just embrace it. Embrace it. Embrace the moment that's about to turn you around. Embrace the moment that's about to make you feel like you need to stop. Embrace the moment that's going to make you feel like, why is this not working out the way I want it to work? Because it don't work that way. Never does. Welcome to what we love to call life. Welcome to it. Welcome to the process. Welcome to the enjoyment. The best part about this, though, you only get one, right? You get this one shot. So you try to make sure that you don't spend it, being too upset about the small things. Jim Rohn says we spend major time on minor things. And I want to change that and say we spend major emotion on things that require minor emotion. People get upset about the smallest things. I mean, man. There's a lot of what if things go wrong, people. And I don't have the what if things go wrong. I say, hey, well, things are going to go wrong. So I'm planning for that as well. But when I plan for it, now understand, I'm not spending a lot of time planning on every if. If this happens, I'm gonna do this. If this happens, no. What happens when things go wrong? You figure it out, and then they become part of the contingency. They become part of the effort. Now you know how to fix things that go wrong. I tell people all the time, I am now an expert in the field of audio. Yes, I've become an expert in my field. Hold on, stop real quick. Are you an expert in your field? That's the big question. Are you an expert in your field? And if you're not an expert, what should you be doing to become an expert? What does an expert look like? What could make you an expert? I throw it out there because it just reminded me of that. You should definitely be striving to be an expert in your field. If you're not becoming an expert, what are you doing? You're just messing around. I don't care what you're doing. You got to become an expert to get paid like one. Anyways, I'm now an expert in my field. Field of audio, I've now classified as an expert. Not by myself, by other people. And I use it to say that the way that I became an expert is by having so many things go wrong, fixing it, and then realizing like, okay, now I know how to fix this problem if it comes up again. And it did come up again. And I fixed the problem because of my moments of things not going well. The process of things not going well. The moments when it all just don't make sense. Why is this not working? Why is it not connecting? Part of the journey. Why do I gotta go left instead of go right? I want to take the 405, but you can't take the 405. It's shut down. You gotta now you gotta take the streets. There's no freeway to your success. That's what I've learned. There's no fast route. As long as I've been doing this, I feel like I'm still, I don't know if y'all know how this works. I feel like I'm still fighting every single day to get the goal accomplished. Every single day. It's very true. As you were sitting there, whatever you're trying to do in your expertise, I hope you are becoming an expert, whatever you're trying to do. But as I continue to move forward and climb this ladder, it is true. The higher you climb, the further the fall. I mean, seriously, the higher you climb, the further you fall. The bigger you get, the harder to fall. So people are truly afraid to get bigger. They're truly afraid to climb higher. I understand, because if you fall from this height, it can be deadly. Versus if you just stay down here and you fall, it don't hurt that much, right? It's kind of like betting, right? If I bet 100, I lose 100, no big deal. But if I bet 1,000 and I lose 1,000, it hurts a lot more. But what if you win? See, the thing about wins is that I always say, you don't have to win many times. How many times you got to hit the lotto? How many times you got to win a championship to be a champion? You can lose as many times as you want to, but you only got to win once. The bigger you get, the higher you go, the more you gain, the more you have to lose. People think rich people don't have problems. I love this. This is the broke mentality. Welcome to the broke mentality. The broke mentality is people thinking that money's going to solve their problems. People thinking that they get rich, everything will be fine. Not recognizing that rich people have problems too. It does rain on the rich. You know that, right? So what I mean by that is the broke person is trying to figure out how to make money. The rich person is trying to figure out how to keep the money. Most of y'all have never been sued. The more money you get, the bigger you get, the more opportunity of being sued. Every single company that's huge, Fortune 500, has been sued. What do you think that means? It's different type of issues. So I understand so many people be like, well, I don't want to get rich. What if I get sued? Are you kidding me? I say charge it to the game. People are so afraid to get to a certain level just out of the few bad things that's going to happen. Like bad things ain't gonna happen anyway. Let me ask you a question. Do bad things happen currently? So that's not gonna stop no matter what financial situation you in. It's not gonna stop no matter what. If you're gonna be broke, you're gonna be sad. If you get rich, you still gonna be sad because you're afraid of all the bad things happening to rich people. Fact of the matter is, problems exist no matter where you are in life. All you can do is choose what kind of problems you want to have. Now I understand. I think Nip said it best in one of his songs. He said something like, I don't judge y'all. I know why. So don't shoot me down when I fly. Basically saying that people, the birds, I don't know if y'all know how birds is. Y'all know how birds is. Birds got to jump off of the nest to see if they can fly. Ain't that interesting? They don't know if they can fly yet. They got to risk their life to find out if they can fly. Wow. And the crazy part about it is some don't make it. Some actually jump off the bird's nest and die. Now, most of them fly. Some don't make it. Now, what you can do, you can choose to be the bird that sees somebody jumps and dies and say, I'm never going to jump out this nest because I might die. So then as a bird, you never fly. Never. You stay in your nest the rest of your life because if you saw that one bird who died, who jumped off and jumped out the nest and died. Not to mention all the other birds who succeeded. You see all the other birds in the air flying, but you know that one died, so why would I risk it? You're either going to die jumping off, learning how to fly, or you're going to die in that nest anyways. The price of life is death no matter what you do. The price of life is death no matter what you do. If you choose to stay in your nest and never fly because you seen a bird jump off before you and didn't make it, that's your choice. But you're going to look up at that sky your entire life and realize, look at all these birds flying. I wish I would have jumped. And that, my friends, is called living with regret. Living with regret. It's up to you how you want to do it. It's up to you how you want to live. It's up to you how you want to make it. Your story, your life, your choice, your moment. But I will tell you like this. Things do not go as smooth as you plan them to go. So can you accept that first? Do you have the ability to accept that things are not going to go as well as you want them to? That means when you jump out of the nest, it's not going to be just, oh, I'm soaring. No, you got to struggle a little bit. You may even hit the ground, but the probability of you dying is not high. See, failure can't kill you in this life. I'm going to say it again. Failure cannot kill you in this life. You know how I know? Because I've seen people successful and die. They didn't die because they failed. Failure cannot kill you. So the only thing you really should be afraid of in this life, and I'm not even afraid of that, is death. If you're afraid of anything, the only thing you got to be afraid of is death. Failure should not be one of them. Most of us are afraid of failing more than we're afraid to die. Like you're not going to die anyways. How can you be more afraid of failure when you can make as many failures as you want to? There's no amount. But you only die once. How many times can you fail? 100 million times. How many times can you die? Once. What's more riskier? You know, I'm 33 years old. And even at 33, I feel like life is short. And I say this not because, I've experienced life to its fullest potential. At the same time, I'm only 33. But when you see age and you really sit there and you just have a moment of self-analysis, not even self-analysis, but just an analysis of life itself, what it's been, what it's turning into, what it's becoming. When you see kids grow up, you see your parents get older, you recognize that life is happening. Where did you think you would be at this age? Are you where you thought you would be? Some people maybe. Some people maybe. I for sure am not where I didn't know what I was going to be doing at this age. I didn't know. I couldn't have drawn this out. I actually thought I would be in a different position just because of how I think and how I dream. But also thought at one point it was just going to happen. It was going to be a straight shot. I got the old college dream. Go to college. Get your degree. You'll be successful as you want. As long as you got your degree, you'll certainly be wealthy. As long as you got your degrees, you'll certainly make all the money in the world that you want to make. So I understand the mentality, especially in my generation, the millennial generation. I get it. But the truth of the matter is, that is not the case. It does not matter your qualifications on paper. All that matters is what you're doing. I'm going to say this again. Doing, because that is an action, experiences. Trust me. Listen, I know people who got every single piece of paperwork that's required, but they ain't met the right people. They ain't rubbed the right shoulders. They ain't had the right conversations. They ain't sent enough emails. They didn't work for free enough. They didn't put in the work. They thought that I can get these pieces of paper, I can get these qualifications, and then somebody is going to put me on. You know what that's like? That's like saying, hey, just because I played basketball in high school and I played basketball in college, I should go to the NBA. No. Absolutely not. You got to put in that extra work. You got to do what the people in high school and college is not doing. Just because you got the qualifications to be in the NBA don't mean you're going to be drafted, my friends. Most people think because I'm qualified, I should get the job. Well, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of qualified people. So now you have to separate yourself from the qualified. How do you do that? How do you separate yourself from the qualified people? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's understanding that it's not going to be a straight route. That's understanding. I'll give y'all an example. One time I had to underqualify myself to get a job. And I'm sharing this with y'all because it's called strategy. People don't understand strategy at all. They don't understand strategy. And I learned this from a black man, mind you. I was sitting in the classroom one time. I was substitute teaching a class. It was the end of the year. And thank God I was doing it because there was a man that came in to teach the students. Listen to me. I paid attention. There was a man that came in and taught students how to get a job. He said, hey, I want to teach y'all today how to get a job. And I said, I've been trying to get a job in the radio industry for a long time. I'm going to listen to what this man said. He said a lot, but one thing he said, how do you separate yourself from other qualified people? Then I paid attention. Listen to me. I paid attention closely. So this is what you do, ladies and gentlemen. How do you separate yourself? Here's a secret. How do you separate yourself from other qualified people? As Russell Simmons said when he had Def Comedy Jam, people would come to him and say, hey, man, I'm really funny. He said, a lot of people are funny. Don't matter. That man said, how do you separate yourself? He said, you got to do something that people won't do. You got to make yourself stand out. In the radio industry, I know it's super laissez-faire. That means people is casual, right? It's a lot of jeans and t-shirts in the radio business. So I decided, and I hardly ever do this. Now I wear them all the time, but back then I didn't wear suits. I said, I'm going to wear a suit to my interview. That was step number one. I said, look different than I know people are going to look here. So they're going to remember me based on the way I look alone. Hear me? The strategy, based on the way I look, they're going to remember me, first and foremost. Secondly, he said, it's what you do after the interview. See, most people, they have an interview and say, I interviewed so well, I got to get the job. And see, what most people don't realize, you're not interviewing for a job. Well, let me take that back. You're not interviewing for a position. You're interviewing for an opportunity. Listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm giving you tools that you can take with you to wherever you're trying to get. You're not interviewing for the job. You're interviewing for an opportunity, because though they might not have that job, they may have another opportunity because they like you. You hear what I'm saying? In your mind, think of what I'm saying. I'm trying to give you tools to the game. You're not interviewing for a job, you're interviewing for an opportunity. So you go in there and you say, hey, after the interview, you interview for the opportunity, not the job specifically, for the interview. I would tell them, hey, I want to be in this industry. If this job is not available, I'm more than happy to take another job or another position if there's one available, because I'm willing to learn. This is what I did that made the difference, ladies and gentlemen. When I left, I went home, and I remember what the man said. He said, what people don't do, they don't realize there's an interview after the interview. There's an interview after the interview. Therefore, that means they're deliberating on who they're going to choose. He said, go home. He said, listen to me closely. Y'all listen to me closely. Don't you log off, because you can help somebody with this. I'm telling you. After the interview, I went home. He said, most people are going to send a thank you email. Right? That's what most people are going to do. Remember, in this life, we cannot do what most people do. So what I did was, he said, go home. He said, handwrite a thank you letter and mail it and pay for the stamp so they see that you paid for it. He said, and send it. Hear what I'm saying? Hold on. Here's the kicker. He said, and you want to send it certified so they got to sign for it. So you make sure they get it in a good time. See, if you send it through the regular mail, they may already make their decision by the time they receive it. You lost the game. So send it certified. So that way it comes a day or two later, and then it comes not only, they have to sign for it. So I sent them a hand letter. I wrote it out. Wasn't too long. He was like, just a paragraph. 3 sentences, 4 sentences. I wrote it out. Said, thank you for not for the job interview, but the opportunity to meet y'all. Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, long story short, when I got hired, I asked him, I had to ask a question. I said, did y'all ever get that letter? He said, yes, we did get the letter. He said, and that's what made us go with you. He said, it was such a close call between you and another person that we wanted. But he said, when we got that letter, it made the difference. And I said, oh, that man was right. So I'm telling you this story because those little nuances, that little extra effort, that little extra piece that I did got me an opportunity of a lifetime. Ladies and gentlemen, I would not be where I'm at today if I didn't take that job at the radio station, didn't learn what I learned, and didn't meet the people I met. Those resources, man, speaking of that, man, the podcast put it tonight in Los Angeles. Dad Without a Dad is going to be there. That's my brother Jose. I met him. He was one of the people who trained me to be an audio engineer while I was there. My relationship still lasts moving forward. I'm telling you this to say that those little differences, those things, not going a regular route, not just taking the straight path. Sometimes you got to take the street because everybody want to take the freeway. Everybody thinks that they're that good. Everybody thinks that they're just that nice, right? My interview was so great. Listen, my hat keep falling off. I'm telling y'all this because hopefully when y'all out here in the world of today, I hope that y'all understand that you must try to take a different route than most people. You cannot walk the same path as most people. You have to veer off. You got to be a little weird. You got to be a little, you got to be a little crazy. So many people are afraid to be a little crazy. So many people are afraid to be a little different. So many people are just afraid of what people are going to say if I just do a little bit different. But I'm telling you right here, right now, that it's required. If you want to stand out, and most people do, if you want to be successful, because stand-ins are not successful. You're never going to be successful doing what a lot of people do. I'm not saying don't do what other people do. I'm saying don't do what a lot of people do. You can follow somebody, but you got to follow somebody that's doing what most people aren't doing. I'm not listening to a Wiz Khalifa interview not too long ago, and he was saying, they was asking him like how he produces his music. He said what he does is when he does something and then other people start doing it and he sees it becomes a trend, he stops doing it. I know now we live in a world of trends. Trends are everything. Trend this, trend that, trend, trendy, trendy, trendy. I'm here to tell you, man. Don't follow the trends. Try and set them. I'm going to say it again. Don't follow the trends. Try to set them. If you follow the trends, most likely you're too late. You want to try to create your own trend. Or work with somebody else who's setting the trend. Nevertheless, you got to find a way. You have to find a way to separate yourself from the crowd. And here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Separating yourself from the crowd is scary, it's uncomfortable, and it makes most people feel so overwhelmed with being looked at or being outcasted. But that's required. Think about the most successful people that you know. Most of them are probably outcasts. They probably turn introverts at some point. So, ladies and gentlemen, the road, the things, everything is never as you plan it to be. So expect things to not go as planned and already decide that it doesn't matter. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see y'all then. I'm out. Yeah.